Ghanaian teams have attempted penalty shootouts and have fallen flat on their faces. We'll be dissecting how Ghana's under-23 side, the Black Meteors, failed with 2 lifelines to make it to Tokyo 2020. And then, of course, like I said, Ojam is back. We'll be fully dissecting Jose Mourinho's return to management. This time it's peculiar because for the first time he hasn't been appointed as a manager but rather as a head coach. Does it make sense for Tottenham? Is their barren spell about to come to an end? Should be a lovely discussion, I tell you. And then, of course, there's a blockbuster encounter on our plates. Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, dazed, wobbling, walking with their eyes closed after that spanking by Liverpool. They go up against Frank Lampard's Chelsea. Now guess what? Man City are not even second on the table. And Chelsea's Frank Lampard, after collecting Ayele or Ayoko, I'm not sure which one, last season, they want to atone for their sins. Shout outs to Samir Yafe, aka Jeffrey Bamsley. Charlie, the guy write football article. Our presidential correspondent, in fact, the dean of the media called at the presidency. Yeah. He wrote an article, Charlie, football article, talking about there is no loyalty in football. Charlie, you a big guy. No, Charlie, I was just sitting there with the guy who say, Charlie, in get here, loyalty finished for football inside. Giddy, 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 giddy. 2 hours later, article produced. No, Charlie, Sammy, you be heavy. Then, of course, the rabbi is on his way. He'll join us in a bit. Daniel Cranton. Shall I have something about Daniel Cranton? The barbering shop in his neighborhood, whom he's been giving shout-outs to at the end of the show. No, Charlie, people say, since your man come out, say, so fine boy things. Small time is going to tip the side of his head. Small time fade. Small time a boy. Small time trim your Charlie, the guy no even have mustache, but they trim mustache for your man by force. Yeah. Hey, Charlie. DK, free new year, why? Free new year, Tiana resume, why? Lock and load. The guys are in here. Well, it's a birthday thing today, you know. Birthday thing. Do I introduce the man or I should play an instrumental for him to introduce himself? Charlie Fentota Hero has dressed like he's the one celebrating the birthday. He did like We're about to start the show off on the right note. Let's go.
Right about now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Turn up.
This is a trade at Citi.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sports Panorama live on Citi FM. This is your birthday boy, Nathan Qual, aka the Magic Bash. Let's go. Yo, welcome to the temple. Now you feeling drama, freestyling live on your radio on Sports Panorama. Got the boys in the studio, feeling all cool, Charlie. You wanna mess it up, Charlie, go school, Charlie. You can't mess it up, then still live long. You know how I do it, I give it back, I still give strong. These are rhymes on the birthday, 2211, and I just wanna ride back and I just roll in heaven. And I do it for my boys every Friday. You know how we just ride, we do it my way. The beat so banging, this is Snoop Dogg. I wanna rock right now, listen you dog. Listen, people act like they don't know you. Guess what, today I ran into the Kojo Q. got my days made. Got my birthday present, I got the days raid. And if you're listening to this rhyme, your day's paid. You know how I do with the freestyle beat slate. People ask me, man, do I write this? No, I don't write this. I sit back and I scat this. Better yet, I just type this. My brain, it's a hot rider, man, you got the feeling it. Lyrically, I'm too hard, baby, you got me chilling it. Like your drinks in the cooler, so nice, man. Freestyle lava, do it like I'm ice, man. I sit back and I do it so simply. Guess who walked in? It's Coach Nimbley.
We have to put that instrumental on again. Wait, what? You are rhyming with Coach Nimbley entering the studio? No, let's go again. Let's go.
Right about now.
It's getting hot in here.
Yeah. Listen. What's the time now? 7:15. I sit back and relax and I hit him in a dream. You wanna mess with basket? Get up on your scene. You ain't never seen before, man. You know I do with lean. Listen, we all eat Ghana rice. Ghana rice they be every day. We do it twice. Let's go out there and have some fun, yo. Listen, you will know I do it number one, yo. And it's the birthday, man. It's the birthday boy. It's the birthday rap, and it's the birthday joy. MC so back, you gotta prove this. I do it every day. I'm making them see. That's why I'm my favorite MC's MC.
Let Lively do it.
Oh no more in the low now. Oh no now. In the low now. In the low now.
And get on now.
In the low now.
Get on now. Oh, I like the chorus. Let's go.
In the low now. In the low now.
Man, see, I don't even want to host the show again. Let's close the show. No, let's close the show. Let's go home. Let's go home.
Welcome to Sports Panorama. It's the holiday edition.
Quick one. The birthday edition, the holiday edition. Rabbi, welcome to the studio. I mean, now that you are here, we can start off the show on the right note, please.
Perfect.
The birthday boy is here today. He's celebrating his birthday. The weather too is nice. Please. Into the presence of the Lord.
You was about.
May you usher us.
You was about. Meneswa Nimaswa Namaswa. When I went to your boss, if I'm a bine, you who wonder wishing. Nathan Quao. Benin showing back a banag be away. Or by you and quali, no G Kenkle, no G no, or boss way, or lay wana. Birthday, a back crown birthday, because I'll beneath you in be. No fear no say to your bobami. And what boss wana mishe, Kashinano, ya yesu bami. Amen.
He hears. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Shout outs to the guys, Coach Nimbley, Nathan Kwao, Fentio Tayo.
I have me all excited. Now you want to make me rap the whole show.
It's my turn.
To do what?
The rap.
In what? In what language? In what language?
In English.
No more. Ina go tomorrow you need rap die.
Coach just said it. Coach just said it for me. Please don't.
You know my favorite line in rap.
Which one is that?
The name is Fentio. You can call me Mr. Fent minus the UO.
Hey! No, I need to buy you Alewa after the show. One Alewa for you for that particular one.
Yeah.
No, give me that again.
The name is Fentio. You can call me Mr. Fent minus the UO.
No. But
I've spoiled it.
Charlie, let's get into the business. Let's get into the business. I'm not
Wait,
sure.
are you saying that what we're doing is not business?
It's all part of the
not
business.
not really.
So that was what?
I don't know.
Are you trying to say that we were?
I don't know. You can put a name on it, but I don't know. It wasn't the business. I don't know.
So you want to say we were fooling?
Oh, me, I haven't said anything, but if you think that's what you are doing too, it's fine.
Nathan, have you heard?
Oh, of course. That
They
was
said all the rap you did, no?
not at all.
No, that's why you're serious. I don't know about the UO and things, but we'll talk about it
Hey,
later.
what about the chorus?
No, the chorus.
In and on apple.
Yeah.
You know, Vio.
Guys, today I let you decide. I'm not sure. We've started on a really good note. I don't want to ruin the mood in the studio. Do we do Ibrahim Tanko Black Meteors
Yes,
penalty
let's
woes
start
first?
there.
We should start from there.
Yeah, we have to
okay.
start from
Let's get into it because for the third time this year, like I said at the start of the show, a Ghanaian team have failed on penalties. And I think we are beginning to sound like a broken record where we say that penalties is a science and not a lottery. Ibrahim Tanko himself, after that game against Cote d'Ivoire, said something that disappointed me because I feel as if he received his training in the motherland of penalties.
Of course.
And he said that his team was not to blame for the defeat because it was the shootout and it was down to lottery. And so nobody can be faulted. We've lost again today, 6-5 on penalties. Edward Sapon. Daniel Cranton says Edward Sapon is Kwame MP, but who allowed Kwame MP to go and play a penalty? I don't even know what he means by that, but he's really looked jittery all competition, and it culminated in that penalty miss. I'm not sure where to start from, coach, because Tanko says that penalties are down to luck. At this point, we were given 2 lifelines to make it to Tokyo 2020. And I was telling Nathan all week, look, we'll be shocked that we'll be done with the 2 lifelines and we still will not be going to Tokyo. Some way, somehow, a part of my brain didn't want to believe that that calamity was possible. But we have arrived, that's it.
Benjamin, first of all, I completely disagree with Ibrahim Tanko when he say penalties is about luck.
Not to cut you, quick one, but Sports Panorama proudly brought to us by Betway and also DSTV. I'll be telling you more about the wonderful packages that both Betway and DSTV have for us as we go along, coach.
Yeah, so like I said, I completely disagree. You see, for me, look, just ask Fentu. Just after we lost it, I called him in less than a minute. And the way I sounded on the phone, even I thought I was so down, but Fentu voice, his reaction, completely told me that maybe I will have to rather come and comfort him.
Charlie.
Because the way he sounded, I thought I was so mad at myself, as if I was the one there. Come on, we blew this, and it had got nothing to do with luck. For me, throughout this tournament, you see, this team has come so far. They've been through a lot. They've had so many difficulties along the line, only for them to get to Cana and not step there. For me, that is what it is. Look, we went to this tournament not having most of our key players, but my checks clearly tells me that we were not the only country
No.
to have gone through
Everybody.
that. Everybody went through that. Surely, if you allow the Egyptians, the Ivorians, the Nigerians, proper availability of players, they would have taken a better team than they did.
The Chukwuezes, all of them would
Yes,
have been
all
for
of them.
Nigeria.
All of them would have been at this tournament. So it tells you that we were not the only team not to have paraded our best. But even that, if you look at the team we took there, I think we could have done better, especially from the playing body. Look, I've had several programs with Nathan, with yourself, and I'm always of the view that you need a solid defense to win a particular tournament or to achieve whatever you want to achieve in a tournament. Look, I salute the strikers, or for that matter, the attackers of this team, because in that first game, apart from that defender, the Kotoko defender, rescuing it at the very last moment, we basically told our strikers that they needed to score as many as 3 goals to win a game, especially in the two most important games of the tournament. That semi-finals against Cote d'Ivoire and today's game against South Africa. They always responded technically. Look at Gideon Mensah. They always look at the goal he scored today. Absolutely brilliant by our standard. Individual brilliant, individual intelligence, individual belief in his own ability to put the ball in the back of the net. He did that with so much finesse. And I salute the young man for that. Now, having said that, if you look at this team, it was clear that game after game after game after game, our two laterals were so bad. I hate speaking this way about a player because I'm a coach. Yeah, I mean, they were so bad that they made our two centre back look so ordinary. Because if you look at the game, every game, Zakaria, the Brecum Chelsea ball, whom in my view I have said is the best of the defenders we've got, he constantly had to cover up for Phoebe. And then Habib constantly had to cover for the left back. They kept doing this game after game, game after game. It was clear that every opponent we played against, Nathan, they saw that as our problem. And anytime they tried finding out whether we have solved the problem recurred again. So we were being exposed constantly, persistently, with ease, with so much freedom that you wonder, goodness me, what was the technical team doing? Look, that game against Egypt completely told all of us that this team needed to sort out the right back and the left back. So I would have thought that moving into this game, into the two most important game against Cote, it's like every goal we've conceded, they've come from the flanks. Maybe apart from the first goal we conceded today, where the ball came through, directly through the middle. Where I was shocked when I saw how wide our two centre backs were. They were so much far apart. Look, over 20 yards apart. I've never seen that before in the modern game. And the last time I saw that, I think, was when Man United played Crystal Palace, when Harry Maguire was so far off
Victor Lindelof.
Yes, and United conceded as a result of that. So, yes, it was a deflected cross that ended up in the back of the net. But our keeper knew that there was only a South African striker in our box, so he needed to cover up. And unfortunately, the ball deflected and ended up in the back of the net. But having said that again, at what point did our technical team realize that we had problems at our two laterals, and therefore it needed to be solved? Simply put, if you don't have the players to solve that problem, this is what I would have told these guys, because their recovery was, especially the right back, Phoebe, his recovery was absolutely shambolic. Game after game, it kept repeating itself. What I would have told them that, look, don't attempt giving me any overlapping option. Stay in your position and defend. In that case, you will not have Zakaria and Habib so much concern about trying to fill up the gap for them when they go, because they will remain there in position.
But Chris, I mean, in effect, those movements of the two centre backs cost us time and time again through the tournament.
Yes, it's because
look at the goal, for example, Cote d'Ivoire's first goal against. Look at how it was worked essentially between two centre backs.
That's what I'm saying. They were trying to play the offside trap.
Yes,
they ended up being able to keep that.
That's what I did point out, that maybe apart from the first goal that we considered today against the South, where I solely blame the two centre backs, all the goals we've conceded throughout this tournament has been from the two laterals. And for me, it is sad because it was there game after game. And then when it became so important, I was telling Fent just after the game today that for a player that had a very bad tournament, what you want to do as a coach is to take him off the spotlight a bit. I wouldn't have included Kingsley Phoebe in my first five. And when it got to the sudden death, which of course will not be arranged in any particular, or it is only the first five that goes on the referee sheet. Once there's a tie there, now you see the coaches selecting based on the confidence of the player. At what point did we ask the left back Sapon to go and take a pen?
I mean,
because after him, Zakaria came He's a local player.
Yeah.
Look at the confidence and the belief
And-
which
and-
he
and-
slaughtered the
and-
ball
and-
in the
and-
back of the
and-
net.
Sapon's penalty.
Sapon looked scared the
Listen,
entire walk up to the
listen,
to the
good.
spot.
Sapon's
man.
penalty was a winning penalty.
Yes.
That was the clincher.
It was
a
a
clincher.
John
Make
Terry
or break.
penalty.
Yes. So what do?
As
You
a coach,
take your best
you go for
kicker
your best.
and let him score.
Let him score. And not the player who's had a very bad tournament.
Well, maybe you know how penalties are.
Look.
Maybe you ask the player, "Do you want to take this?" And he says, "I don't fancy myself
you
to go
can't-
up
look,
and take
Ben,
this."
Ben,
At that stage, there's no excuse. That is why we are coaches.
Coach,
that is why
I have seen-
you
I
have
have-
to envisage
Coach, I have
these
seen,
things happening.
I have seen Javinho take a plastic chair and go and sit behind the dugout and stare at the crowd.
Yes,
I have seen
he was not part of the 11.
I have seen Asamoah Gyan
Jorginho.
insist- No, but coach,
No,
I mean, what
Jorginho had been substituted.
Yeah.
He was not on the pitch.
It's because he had told them that he won't play.
That
and,
is
and,
why-
And even he the substitute,
Look.
even he didn't want to witness the shootout.
And that is my greatest problem
Yeah.
with Asamoah Gyan. I believe he caused Ghana that AFCON against Cote d'Ivoire.
Talking of Asamoah Gyan, shout outs to him as well.
Yes.
Today is
Today
also his
happens.
birthday.
Yes.
And shout outs to Chris Smalling.
Yes.
Nathan should do a special birthday dedication to Chris
Smalling.
Smalling
Yeah,
on the show
because-
I'm not
today.
doing
Shout out,
You have to
shout
do it.
out to
You understand?
Marwan Faleni.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shout out
And
to
Yakubu
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 Aibe.
hey! So no, the lineup is heavy.
No more.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yakubu
when-
Aigbeni.
Aga Aigbeni na 37 years more.
Why do we do this to ourselves as Africans?
You see, when I talk, then my boss will have problem with me. When I sit and do that,
Wait, your boss will have what with you?
you have problem with me.
Feds
You
behave.
have problem with me. So Ben, back to is it? Look, we blew this. When we got to the sudden death, the moment our goalkeeper made the save, look, just there and there, the technical team should have selected the best. Look, I don't believe that Sapon was our best penalty taker at that moment. I don't believe. I don't believe it one bit, because he took one against the Ivorians. He was part of the first five.
Sapon, did he take?
Did he?
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't take at all.
He really has looked very jittery all
Very-
tournament.
all tournament. So look at Zakaria. Look at Zakaria. Look at the penalty. Look at the confidence with it. And then our players too were not smart. Look at the South African goalkeeper. Anytime the ball went to his left, he made the save. Of all our penalty kicks, the two saves were saves he made
Yeah.
when they went to his left. You learn. It was clear.
You trace patterns.
It was clear that whenever we went to his right, he would just guess the direction, but he was not making the save. And again, if you look at his positioning, okay, he always made the left a bit bigger, trying to tease you that
To think-
go
to
there,
get into thinking
go
you
there.
could go
And
there.
look at Phobe's own. When he went there, it was an easy save. And look at the one who eventually missed, the one who missed the last penalty, the number 4. I've forgotten his name. He went. It was also a simple routine save. So for me, penalties is taught. Look, that is why when the academy boy picks up the ball to go and like Lomoto did, he just picks a spot and then because these guys are taught. You know, a good penalty taker will not be looking at the ball as he draws closer to it. Do you know why? Because they are told that once you put the ball there and you back off, once your eyes have seen you put it there, there is connection with the brain. So when you are coming, you don't keep your eyes on the ball. You watch the goalkeeper. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Look at Messi. Look at the renowned penalty takers.
Eden Hazard.
They never get closer and put their head down and look at the ball. And look at our players. All those who missed the penalty today, at the time of getting to the ball, they were not looking at the goalkeeper. They were looking at the ball.
Looking at the ball.
And at what point they need to be taught these things? That there is a clear connection with you putting the ball down the way you want, or they are taught what to do. And again, in putting the ball down, the pump where they used to inflict the ball, that side of the ball is supposed to be facing the goalkeeper. There's a reason for that. Maybe at the right time, I will explain the reason for that. Because when you strike the ball from that side, the speed is not what it should be. If the power, no matter how much power you put behind it, the speed is a bit reduced. But when that side is facing the goalkeeper and you strike the ball from the other side, the speed is intense, provided you get the necessary power behind the ball. All these things are taught. So I don't know, but look, we blew this and it has got nothing, absolutely nothing to do with luck. We just did not fancy ourselves. We did not believe that for once we could win a penalty shootout when we had two brilliant opportunities especially that of the sudden death. And that was the worst penalty we saw. John Terry near penalty.
The penalty just buzzed by my ear here at Dabraka, but it's all good. Nathan, now, Ibrahim Tanko, like I'm saying, had 2 lifelines. Take Ghana to Tokyo, and this would have enhanced his reputation tenfold.
Yeah.
He's blown 2 penalties in the space of
2 shootouts in what? 4 days.
Yep. Now we don't make it to Tokyo again. What's his future looking like, and how are we rating him based on this competition?
Benjamin, for those calling us, telling us that we are wrong.
Oh,
Tell
Wrong
them.
about what?
somebody says that. Somebody actually called into our premises and said that after the 3 slots have been decided, he says that Ghana still has a wild card shot
to go and play some playoff in Oceania.
I don't understand these things.
The Olympic qualifiers for Africa, when it comes to women, there's a half spot.
Yeah.
You only get it when you get to the very end.
If you lose
That's it. For the men's thing, there are no half slots. You are not going to play.
No, but even if there's a half slot, they will not give it to us after what we've done. You don't deserve a half slot.
No. So here's the qualifying series for a lot of I didn't blame him because he said he heard it on radio, and it's important to make that clarification. Don't go and miseducate people. As far as the Olympic ticket is concerned, for Africa, we have 3 definite slots for the men. It's that simple. There is no half. When it comes to the women, though, Africa has just 1 definite slot. And then the second place team in Africa in the women's qualifying will play the second place team in South America, CONMEBOL, who also have 1 definite slot. And then between the 2 of them, they will decide the second slot. So it is not the same for the men. As for the men, it is decided. Every confederation is decided to make up the 16 countries. So Ghana is not playing any playoff anywhere as far as the men are concerned. We are out. Simple. If the women had gotten to the final and had lost the ticket to another country, then you could have spoken about them having a half slot, needing to play a team against a team from CONMEBOL, South America, to qualify. But the men, it's not like that.
Okay, let me just announce the text and WhatsApp line 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Also get to me on Twitter at Kojo Nketi. I use the hashtag Sports Panorama. Remember, Panorama is proudly brought to us by Betway, and the Betway Money Back Boost lets you back more of your favorite teams by giving you up to 20 times your bet back if you are unlucky. Now visit betway.com.gh and create a multi-bet that has 6 or more selections. If one of your selections lets you down, will refund up to 20 times the value of your bet. The more selections you add, the more you get back. Bet your way with Betway today. Terms and conditions apply. Betway, for the love of the game. No under 18. Bet the responsible way. Nathan, I was asking about Ibrahim Tanko's reputation and where he goes from here, and also the science of penalties. When will we ever get it right?
To answer your first question, I think that Ibrahim Tanko himself will know that he's disappointed himself and everybody else who believed in him and thought that he could get this job done. I don't know what will happen to him. I don't know what the GFA will do to him. I don't know what kind of assignment he will be giving. But I suspect that he will need a little time to cool off. Yeah, he will need a little. You see, because
that cool off might end up being permanent.
You see, because whether he likes it or not, he will come under a lot of criticism. People will come after him fairly and unfairly. So he will have to calm down. He will have to understand what went wrong. And I think there's something he has to tell us. I've heard him say during the tournament that he's lacked quality and he didn't have all the key players he used in qualifying. But I find that a little puzzling. That did he not know?
I find it insulting to the players who are there.
I'm not saying that. Did he not know that this competition was outside the mandated FIFA calendar? And so countries or clubs, were not mandated to release players. So you need to think about that as you go through qualifiers. Who can play in the competition? Then you think about it. But I think that the bigger question, though, lies with this penalty hoodoo. I think it's become serious. It is something that should concern the managers of our football.
especially the technical directorate.
Because it cannot be that our record in international penalty shootouts is this horrible. At the last check, and I've lost count, at the last check, I suspect we've now become more horrible than Holland and England. And these are two countries who are pathetic at penalty shootouts. And yet, it looks like we are worse than they are. So that should concern us. When people say you can never, ever, ever practice for a shootout, I disagree largely.
It's not true.
Just to
Or
stop.
people will say that.
Just a quick one.
Earlier, I was having somebody called the newsroom and they sent me a document saying that, look, maybe we should have, when we finish playing league, maybe we should have a national penalty taking thing on the
Kofi
side.
Ahaji.
Yes, he sent me. I'll read that document.
Yeah, it's my. It was my junior at Legon. He's been pestering me with that document. He wants to.
Look, is it
Kofi.
Listen, it's a very interesting idea.
It is.
See, but somehow, friends, because I think somehow we need to start to confront the elephant in the room. What is the elephant in the room? We are horrible at penalties.
How much of it is science and how much of it is temperament and technique?
It's a mix. How much
mix
of
of
it
the
is
two,
science?
actually.
There's a
It's the
good
mix
mix
of
of it, which is science. Science meaning that, one, let us understand something. When you walk into a shootout, study your opponents very quick. Even if you don't have prior
Teams
data.
and players have tendencies.
Even if you don't have prior data.
Yeah.
After 2 kicks in a shootout, you should be able to do something.
Yep.
Like we saw
You
today.
should notice a pattern.
After 2 kicks, you should be able to notice that, wait a minute, there's something
This
going
guy
on.
is either uncomfortable going this way, he's not trying to dive.
Or
this way.
if you can prepare ahead of time, do it. And I've recounted the story so many times of Chelsea walking into that Luzhniki 2008 Champions League final with so much info in their hands. They were just unfortunate to have lost to Man United. Meaning that they walked into it knowing what they were going to do. 4 years later against Bayern Munich, Chelsea got it right. They had done their research. They knew where Ian Robin would put his penalty. They knew where this person would go, and Czech was ready. So as we prepare to go for tournaments, let us always think about the fact that there will come a day where we will not execute in 90 minutes and 120 minutes. This is Ghana we are talking about. We almost always play a shootout.
The day you start practicing shootouts, for the next 10 years, you won't be involved in one.
No, but you see, the reason why
You see, friends, you need to be ready.
Yep.
you need to be ready.
Be ready for it. The other part of it is psychological. And again, Chris, I think that it goes back to the technical team.
Yes, it is.
What is it about our players that gets them scared of penalties?
No, but Nathan, if we are being honest though, penalties
Ben,
is not for the faint-hearted.
Ben, I know it can be
Penalties
scary,
are not
but think
for the
about it, Ben. Think about it. If England, I think, in my opinion, the worst penalty-taking country in the world, can go to a World Cup and not be afraid of what round was that? Quarter-final
that was the
against Colombia. They were not afraid of the penalties. They went in and executed. In the Nations League, when they had to play against Switzerland, look at the ease with which they were taking the kicks. Every player walked to the spot. They were confident, decided the place. Bang, is in there. Euro 2004, Holland. And I remember that commentary so well when they knocked out Sweden on penalties. The commentator after 2 kicks said, it looks like Holland have been practicing these kicks because they had a pattern. And they looked very ready and very, very confident. So I think there is something we must work on. Players need not be afraid of the shootout. That's one side of it. The other side is that we need to, when we are training goalkeepers, we need to start identifying which of the goalkeepers are good for this. And I'll give you an example. Back in the days when the Etoile du Sahel were a giant force, they used to have a substitute Nigerian goalkeeper called Austin Ejide.
I remember him.
Ejide was only
Everybody
good,
knows Ejide.
and every time Etoile du Sahel played a game, it was 119th minute, Ejide would come on. Part of it was tactical. Part of it was psychological. The psychological part lay in the fact that the opponent knew
That
once
guy's a
Ejide
penalty
was on,
specialist.
he would save.
Yeah.
So whether he was even ready or not, players were 50% of the time afraid of taking the kick.
Like Louis van Gaal with
Louis van Gaal, good with Tim Krul in the World Cup. So when we are training goalkeepers, let us identify. Not every goalkeeper is good for the shootout. There are some goalkeepers who are fantastic shot stoppers. They are pathetic in the shootout. There are some who are brilliant at reading the situation. So throw them in. So I feel that we need to look at that problem very holistically. Technique and psychology. And maybe if we can recreate situations for players to thrive. Because I feel that a lot of the things, nerves. Look at Sapon's penalty. That was down to pure nerve.
Look, I could see the guy quaking in his boots from where I was sitting.
And we've seen in history, AFCON final 2012, sudden death. When Yakwasi Gavinho was called to go and take a penalty, he was telling his coach, no, his coach said, go and take it. He missed. And as he struck the ball, the moment his foot touched the ball, he could see that he had missed. The ball was even flying past the ball, and he could tell because he had been crippled by fear.
And our owner Samoa Gyan. That is why, for me, I have condemned every psychologist with the Black Stars after that Uruguay problem with Samoa Gyan. Because if we had worked on it, when did Samoa Gyan become so bad a penalty taker? He was our number one until he missed against Uruguay and missed against Zambia.
People were beginning to get personal with it.
No, but at that point in time, we saw the need to make him our leader. So what was the psychologist doing on him? To the extent that when we met Cote d'Ivoire, 3 minutes to the end of the extra time, where we would have gone into the penalty, he would have been part of the first five.
Players have missed far more valuable penalties.
Yet still,
Roberto Baggio missed one.
Perhaps the greatest penalty miss
Yes,
of
in his
all
life.
time.
4 years later, at France 98,
He was back at it
he
again.
took the second or third kick for Italy against France. The Italians lost. He won his personal battle. He scored. And I remember when he scored, he put his hands to his lips
and told
the crowd to keep quiet.
The problem with the Jan story, I think you guys are not telling it to the full.
Look.
Hold on. Jan said his mother
had been threatened.
So please, it wasn't a case of
accepted. Then I blame all those who made him captain of our team. Then the mother should have insisted he should not have been our captain. Because you cannot select a captain when we needed him to show up.
It's okay. So
how you get where I'm getting to?
Today is the Jets' birthday.
I'm coming. Happy birthday to the young man. You know we are all blue people. Nobody loves him better than I do. But the fact still remain the fact that look, he caused us that.
Okay.
It was a perfect opportunity for him to redeem himself.
I agree with Benjamin. We can't be discussing under 23 and all of a sudden.
We are talking about penalties. We are talking about penalties.
I just think that, you see, this particular episode with the Meteors should teach us, it should waking us up to a problem. And I feel that if we think about it and think about it thoroughly, it will be fine. The last thing I will say, though, is that, again, we've missed another opportunity to go to an Olympic game. Because what the Olympic Games, think about it, Ben, in all of world football, only the under-23s have a competition once every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
The under-17s, the under-20s play once every 2 years.
Joado made a controversial statement when he was on the tracker on Monday. He says that the World Cup is big, but the Olympic Games sort of is bigger because the World Cup is mainly for purely football purists. In the Olympic Games, people of all sports are watching you. It's
so you see,
listen, 2004.
In terms of
2004.
See, the Olympic football gold medal. Some countries
Olympic gold is valuable.
Listen, some countries still beat their chest.
Yep. Let me tell you what I was thinking about today. In fact, when I woke up in the morning after my quiet time, and I was picturing the match, and I said, "Wow, what a way to say goodbye to the baby jet." I would have campaigned for him to be one of our senior players for this tournament. I would have, look, his name, his face just came to me. So look, should Tanko and Co qualify,
Baby Jet should be one of the senior players.
I would have taken it upon myself that he should have been one of our senior players.
Didn't happen.
I'll
take friends' thoughts in a bit, but let me get to my Twitter, my message box, and then I'll get some thoughts from friends as well. This one here says that Sports Panorama always makes my day complete. Guys, Asamoah Gyan's penalty miss against Uruguay's case is still reigning. Is ruining the young generation. Why can't we just forget GH football? I'm very happy the special one is back in the EPL. Let's move on to more messages. This one says that my name is Chum Berima from La Paz. Says Ghana's problem is local coaches. Let's bin them and bring in white coaches. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. This one here from Amos from Gomwa Fete says that good evening, Nathan and guys. As for Ghana and penalties, dear, it's a serious curse. Anyway, Ibrahim Tanko has failed to do his homework well after losing their first penalty shootout. Just praying that Man City will win their game tomorrow. This one also says that if Mourinho doesn't change his 1860 coaching and stop fighting with players, he will continue to be sacked from club to club. Santana from Choco. You say this one's from Casey Palmer from a Cropon says, I think the Black Meteors have been shambolic since day one. Who does this? This is unexplainable. He says, I'm very disappointed in this team. Also, I wish Jose the best of luck at Spurs. This one also says, please, please, please. Is Messi's penalty not a winning penalty against Chelsea in the 2012 UCL semis? Namely spoke more than 10 minutes, but couldn't tell us the solution. I think he actually did outline a lot of solutions there, unless you need to open your ears a little wider, but he did outline quite a number of solutions there. Kobe from Oyari says, I can't remember the last time a national team won a penalty shootout.
2011, the All Africa Games final against South Africa.
Yep.
We won down.
Maele did it.
Yeah. Only thing is that I don't really rate the All African game, so it doesn't.
Okay,
count
then
for
the
me.
under 20 in Egypt.
That just makes that group special, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It makes them special. This one says, I can't remember the last time. It says, look at the way Jorginho takes his penalties. Most keepers decide beforehand where to dive, so Jorginho never knows where he'll put the ball.
so
The
he
keeper
keeps
always
watching.
decides for him. Let's
in penalty science,
he
they call it the goalkeeper dependent.
Yeah, so he watches the
Yaya
goalkeeper.
Toure does it.
Yeah.
wait for the
Mario
goalkeeper to make a
Balotelli
move.
does it. Eden Hazard
That's
sometimes
they
does
look
it.
at the goalkeeper.
He looks at the
Once you
goalkeeper.
commit,
If you
then
commit,
he goes.
This one says that last week Nathan said he did not understand what technical bankruptcy meant. Well, Tanko just epitomized that. Phoebe and Sapon were
No, it was Fent who said it.
it says Phoebe and Sapon were poor
They were
throughout
poor
the
throughout,
tournament, yet continued to play 90 minutes. In a penalty shootout, if you get the opportunity to score and win, you let your trusted penalty takers play, not your fullbacks who did not complete across the whole 90 minutes. Tanko is an embarrassment, you say. This one here says, birthday boy, birthday one, birthday show with the birthday rap. Wishing you a blissful birthday. God lavishly bless you for the love and dedication you have shown towards this job over the years. I'm waiting for Coach Chris's rap attack. He gave you the
Onapo, that's the hook.
God bless.
Maybe that's an idea right there. Maybe the first single 2020.
Yeah, man.
Onapo.
You could do a little bit of the campaign speech in the beginning, enter the song. That's from Richard. A J from Roman Estate. So this one says that what is the name of the rapper? He's too good. Even better than some of the rappers in the country. He's not a rapper. He's a journalist. He's our editor.
He's our boss.
Hold on. Which begs the question: you are listening to Panorama and you don't know who
did that?
Ashok. Ashok. He said, "What's the name of the rapper?"
Ashok.
Charlie, some way. Let's move on.
Okay, if you just tuned in, his name is Nathan Kwao,
yeah.
aka Mr. Kwao. He's also
AKA the mad boss.
on his spare day. He's a ballot box snatcher.
How could we forget? I need to ring the bell like briefly for this. Every time you say ballot box snatcher, I always get this image in my mind where Nathan's eyes are darting like left and right, and then looking see picks up the box and then goes in another direction. Charlie, it's all good. This one says that happy birthday, Nathan, and your good friends. And your good friend Chris Smalling. You're a real gem. Liverpool to win. This from Zylex Dwayne in London. This one also from Papa Franco from Ahuase says that please, we need VAR today on the show because the matters are too much this week. Nathan, your favorite coach has been sacked. Coach Nimley's favorite manager gets a job. Danis Ole still has a job while Scott is available. Regards to Matilda Foster. But guys, Charlie, I hear say as the Mourinho sack news happened, Charlie, not only into me that.
As the Poch.
Hey, when the Poch sack happened, like Charlie, your man couldn't sleep. He was pacing in his bedroom. Say,
Charlie,
Some journalists actually ask him at the pre-match press conference. They asked him, do you feel your job is under threat now that Pochettino has become available?
Talking about
very relevant
manager
question.
sacking stories.
Yeah, man.
Let me tell you the David Moyes story.
Oh,
So the day before David Moyes got sacked, the rumors had started swelling in England that he was going to get fired the next day. Then the BBC sent an email to Manchester United to ask them whether it was true. Manchester United have never given such a response before or after. They told the BBC, and this were the BBC's words too, and I remember they published that email. They said, we cannot confirm nor deny the rumors.
Wow.
Then the BBC said, Now, David Moyes years later granted an interview to the Daily Mail, and he said that he was hearing the stories, but I didn't want to believe. So he asked some of the journalists he knew that, Charlie, will I get sacked tomorrow? They said, Moisey, you will get sacked tomorrow. He said, are you sure? He said, you will get sacked. They said, I don't believe. So he went home. At 3 a.m. he woke up. he said he was thinking about it. So he drove to Carrington.
Going to pace around Carrington.
He drove to Carrington, went to do his morning jog earlier than usual, and he went to sit in his home. He said, as the hours ticked closer to morning, he could just feel it in his stomach that challenge that he was gone.
He had been done coming.
Then he said he was there, so he put the morning training session together. They were doing around 10 a.m. He could see that a line of Chevrolets were driving into Carrington. Then he said he knew when he saw Joel. Now, the person who normally does the hatchet job is Joel Glazer. He's not in the US. He's in the US. He flies in only to come and sack managers. So as soon as Joel Glazer came out, he said a stone dropped in his stomach, Charlie.
Cold shiver.
And they said just called him aside. It was quick, no long story. They said, David, we are sorry, this is not working. You've been fired. Finish.
No long thing.
And then he said the players, nobody even looked at him. They were training as usual. He went to the office. He packed these things.
Oh, Charlie! Hey, that's a really sad scenario you're painting right there. But
Pochettino didn't get to say goodbye.
No.
Yeah. And then the clipboard that he uses for his
tactics,
taxes, he's going to write on it, "I'll miss you guys. Sorry, I can't say goodbye."
But you know
But talking about spare sacking, let me give another spare sacking story.
Mourinho was taunting the guy.
Do you know that when Liverpool smashed Spurs 5-0, was it Liverpool or Chelsea? One of them. The AVB time. Liverpool. 5-0. They said AVB was... So he left. He got up, shook the opponent's manager's hand, or the opposing manager, and was going down the tunnel. They said he took 1, 2, 3 steps. By the time he raised his head, Daniel Levy's secretary was there. And they said, "Oh, hi, Andre." He said, "Oh, hi." He said, "Where are you going?" "I'm going tomorrow." He said, No. The chairman is calling you.
You don't have an office anymore.
Go upstairs.
No.
Sacked right there.
Charlie, it's not an easy job, It's not an easy job at all. But let's take a quick break here on Sports Panorama. When we come back, we'll delve into the return of Ojam because he's back in the business. And then, of course, we'll talk the big lineup for this weekend. It's Manchester City at the Etihad welcoming Coach Chris's Chelsea Football Club.
Oh, no more.
I'm glad I don't have to say anything.
Coach Chris's Chelsea. You don't want to say anything about Tanko. You say it by force. Now you are trying to swear. No. We'll bring it back to you for 2 minutes. We'll take a quick break here. We'll be back.
City 97.3. Accra.
They are on the attack. PK passes it to Hazard, who's making a run to the center. The through ball to Ronaldo, who dummies it to Bale, just outside the box. He offloads to Salah, who strikes. It's a goal!
Watch every step over, dribble, tackle, and pass from your favorite superstars. Always in HD, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Only on SuperSport on DSTV, where it's always football time.
City 97.3. Accra.
Welcome back. Sports Panorama proudly brought to us by Betway and also DSTV, the home of all the action. Yeah, Charlie, they are the reason why we keep up with the Premier League. The Italian Serie A as well. Charlie, boxing in the mix somewhere. All kinds of things, Charlie. Lovely stuff from the guys at DSTV. Jose Mourinho, after what, 11 months or so, has popped up again in management. Somebody's telling me that he's about to build an entire fan base for Tottenham Hotspur here in Ghana because it is Mourinho.
I'm a member.
You remember?
I'm a member.
Yeah, somebody said you needed to clarify something, but
Please.
we'll take the
Stay
sound
at your
bite.
corner.
Just before we say
Vanini,
anything,
stay at your corner.
just before we say anything, let us all put it on record that Mourinho's announcement or appointment was announced 11 hours and 5 minutes after Poch was sacked.
Charlie, that was serious.
11 hours
That's
and
typical
5
Daniel
minutes.
After
He's
a guy
always
has
been
worked
like
for
that.
you
He
for
knows
5
what he
years.
wants.
Hey, let's listen to Mourinho, some of his iconic moments during his last stint, and indeed, the last bit was from the vintage Jose Mourinho back in the day, first thing Chelsea. Listen.
So you keep trying and trying and trying and keep trying and keep trying.
Is it not a bit of a distraction?
Now, just to finish, do you know that what was the result? 3-0.
We lost 3-0.
3-0. Do you know what this means? 3-0. But also mean 3 premierships, and I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together. 3 for me and 2 for them. Respect, 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 man, respect, 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 man. I'm sorry, I'm a bit arrogant. We have a top manager. Again, please don't call me arrogant because what I'm saying is true. I'm European champion, so I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
The special one. Fent, Mourinho back in management. What is he bringing to the table? Does he even is it wise for him to take another job in the Premier League?
Before I say anything, I saw Christopher Nimley's tweet when Jose was hired
He will
Spurs
clarify.
that he was now a Tottenham Hotspur's fan. Please remain at your Mole Mole club.
It doesn't mean I've stopped supporting.
Nobody supports
You want to
two
say that?
clubs.
You want to have-
Listen,
You want to
Man United. Man United. Man United. Say it. Man
Man
United.
United is my DNA.
So what, a wife and a mistress?
Is that what this
you're
is?
saying?
It's my wife, can garden.
No, is
No,
a wife and
no,
a mistress? Is that what
no.
you're saying?
Jose is my man,
So
so I follow him
And
wherever
Tottenham
he
is a
goes.
side chick?
so did you support Chelsea when he was there?
by then
Yes.
he was not my man
So when did he become? When he came to United?
when he came to United.
Oh, okay.
But you knew my stand on him at United. I never supported him being sacked.
Nimli, you do know that that is problematic because by the time he came to United, he had already done all the greatest things in his career. So how was he not your man then?
He was not. He was my man at Porto. When he came to that side,
Where is
I
that side?
disliked him.
Where is that side?
When he moved to the other side of Spain, you know my stand on them. I dislike him. When he was at Inter, I loved him. And when he came to my DNA, I fell in love even more with the young man.
In other words, Nimli's love is not loyal.
Fleeting love.
Yeah,
For Jose.
it is not. It is
Jump-
not. No, for
jump-
even for Jose, it's
jump-
not loyal.
jump-
No,
love.
if I love
The
Jose
love
and
goes on a
it is not-
sabbatical.
it-
of course, it
Depending
depends on
on-
where he goes.
No,
Imagine.
enjoy your
I didn't
misery.
love him when he was at Chelsea. Let's face it.
Enjoy,
Fento Tahiru.
enjoy Oli.
Get to the
Now,
get to the business.
Ole is your man. Enjoy him. Speaking about Jose Mourinho coming back to the Premier League, I think it's fantastic. The sound bites that you heard are the reasons people love him. When he signed, Nathan, we were watching Sky Sports News together.
Yeah.
And the entire 1 hour, they aired the entire press conference of Jose Mourinho. For the entire 1 hour of Sky Sports News. Never happened before for any manager. They would usually take the best bits. For Jose, they aired the entire thing. All of a sudden, I'm looking at Tottenham Hotspur's social media. Their Twitter followers have skyrocketed. Their YouTube subscribers, same. He is a phenomenon. Jose Mourinho. It doesn't matter if you hate him or love him. he is an amazing character, and the Premier League needs characters like Jose Mourinho. He's been there, he's won, he's gone, he's come back. My only disappointment is the fact that a few years ago, when Jose was asked a very, very clear question on whether or not he would ever coach Tottenham Hotspurs, his answer was, and I quote, "No, I love Chelsea too much," unquote. When he was asked yesterday what he made of those words, he said he only said those words. He said those words before he was sacked.
Of course.
The moment Abramovich sacked him, he changed. Again, loyalty.
And that is true.
Hold on.
No, but if you fall in love with the woman, you are so much in love with that lady, like my boss here, Ilewana. When he in love, I'm a fan behind
theory.
You know this analogy.
No, you see, the woman's theory, please.
When you notice your lily, and you fall in love with your lily, and one day your lily comes and tells you that no more is more, but then for you that you should continue to smell your lily. Is that what you are saying?
So what do we call it? The Lille theory.
Of course. No, but
It's okay.
how do you taste something that you don't have? How do you taste it?
You see,
Have you ever tasted something you don't have?
It's okay. It's okay. I don't like
it's
when
okay.
you're
I told you. I told you to stop him.
I don't like when you're
analogy.
on.
The analogy is going somewhere.
It's okay.
It shouldn't
Thanks.
go.
Get back to the point. Jose
So
Mourinho.
yes, but even that was on the lighter side. On a more serious note, I really do think that the Tottenham Hotspur squad is built for Jose Mourinho to succeed. It is not a surprise that Jose has been going on and on and on about why he's taking the Spurs job. And every time he's stated the reason he took the job, the squad quality is always the first reason. And he said this is the first time he's actually walked into a club where he is entirely satisfied with the squad at his disposal. Because when he went to Chelsea the first time, he needed to bring in players. When he went to Inter, he needed to bring in players. United, same. Second coming at Chelsea, same. Madrid, same. He needed certain players to play his kind of football.
Just to interrupt you there briefly. Now, Vertonghen's contract is running down. Eriksen's contract is running down. Is he the guy? Does he have enough willpower to convince these players to stay with him? Because Eriksen, for me, I mean, the Hurricane people will say what they will say, but I think that technically, overall, football-wise, he's just about the best player they have. Can he convince these guys to stay?
I don't think the reason those players were being allowed to go was because of Pochettino.
No, it wasn't. But I'm saying that either which ways.
So I am thinking that even for Jose Mourinho, and when he was looking in from the outside, he did say that he thought that there were some members of the Spurs squad who were not happy. For example, Eriksen's contract is running out. I took a look at the Spurs wage bill.
£75,000.
And £75,000. A player like Ndombele, who just signed for the club, earns as much as what? £250,000. He can't think that that is fair.
That's insulting, actually.
And his contract is running out. So you wonder if they've held contract talks with him and whether he rejected the contract offer. If that's the case, then Jose would be in a position to tell them that, give him the money he wants and he would stay. If that's the reason he wants to leave, if he's unhappy because he's not happy with the money that they're giving him.
Surely that is one of the reasons.
Surely,
I think
Jose is the man in a position to tell him that, you've got a great manager, I believe in you. And he's the one, I actually do think he's the only manager who can tell Daniel Levy to give the guy whatever money he's asking for.
No, but now again, we arrive at that complication because he's been hired as a head coach and not a manager. So he doesn't have control over academy policy, over transfers,
that is true. I mean, but if I think about it critically, I think Jose may have a bit of a leverage on which he can stand and argue by virtue of his own reputation.
Yes, he's got that.
In what players, he brings, I have proven that I can do it.
And the track record he brings. So he may not have the capabilities or the remit to do so per his job description. But I think he can use his reputation and experience to tell Daniel Levy,
now look,
what must be done. The only problem, though, is that, one, do Spurs have the kind of money that will entice Eriksen to stay?
I think they do.
I think they do.
I think they overdo.
Maybe not. I think a lot of these guys are walking away because Spurs, and I may be wrong, I don't think they have the kind of financial muscle that can keep the entire squad on a minimum of £100,000.
Well, I'm not too sure about that. Look,
Son now, as we speak, is taking over £100,000 a week.
Yep. The highest paid players are actually in Ndombele and Kane.
And Harry Kane.
And so, look, this is what I think.
Ericsson is on £75,000. Now, if you are bumping Ericsson upwards, where are you placing 250? And I'm only saying, and I'm asking a simple question. Let's not forget this. Spurs are, listen, they forked out a lot of money.
You know what I think?
To build their stadium and their adjoining training ground. We've seen how exquisite it is. It's a lot of money that's gone. The owner, Joe Lewis, has pumped in money. I believe that it comes down to how important the club deems Christian Eriksen.
That is what it is.
If they think that he's important,
they'll give him the money.
He's a key player to their plans going forward.
They'll give him whatever money he wants.
They will give him the money.
But also,
he's not indispensable.
I actually do think, and I think that this is something that's been spoken about in certain realms, that the reason a lot of the Spurs players were not performing optimally was largely because of a mental block. Because you look at Tottenham Hotspurs and where they've come from as a football club, what they've achieved,
made giant strides.
And the Mauricio Pochettino, and I think he's overachieved, by the way, with the same squad of players. I'm sure all of the players are thinking, after they lost that Champions League final to Liverpool, when again can we possibly get to the Champions League final?
Yeah.
Ever again in our careers?
Yeah.
Because look at how long it took Spurs to get there.
Yeah.
And you look at the trend of spending that Daniel Levy has done over the years under the same manager. Do they have the wherewithal, both mentally, financially, to be able to get to the top again? And if the answer internally to them is no, then they are inclined to look for a change.
But I mean, this is what I would also say.
So then, this is where the Jose Mourinho coming could actually be good for them.
Yeah.
Because all of those players, whoever doubted mentally that they could get to the top, staying at Tottenham Hotspurs, would not start to
sudden have a renewed belief.
They would not start to believe. And there is no better manager out there that can convince a player that I can guarantee you trophies
than Jose Mourinho.
So that's why I'm saying that is the kind of the reputation that can get a lot of those players to stay on.
True.
And even if they don't stay on and they do leave, a lot of them are freeing a lot of wage bill that can attract even more quality players. And when you have Jose Mourinho, quite a number of quality players will be willing to play for you. What is key though is that you look at the way Spurs have played so far this season. Even without the players, the so-called players whose contracts have run out, Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Danny Rose, these guys don't seem to be integral members of the squad this season, including Christian Eriksen. So then Jose Mourinho would have known that before taking the job, and yet he's spoken about how he feels about that squad. You think about Jose Mourinho and how he can turn even the most mediocre player into a world beater, and you're looking at the kind of players that he has at the back, like Davison Sanchez. This is a player potentially Mourinho can turn into one of the best defenders in the
Sanchez,
world.
he's not far from getting
exactly. The same player Mourinho was laughing at in that Europa League final.
Exactly.
Telling Man United players that it doesn't matter if Davison Sanchez has the ball, he won't do anything with it.
Times have changed.
We know Mourinho. You look at a lot of these statements.
You look at the left back position. Rose is leaving. He's running out of contract. But Spurs had just signed a left back in Sessegnon. You look at the right back position. It is similar. They've got young players all around. Serge Aurier, another quality player.
Very good player.
If you look at the middle, players like Ndombele, built in the mold of a Jose Mourinho kind of player. Whether it is fast players like Eriksen or Son, he's got them for the perfect counter-attacking football that Jose likes to play. He's got efficiency in Harry Kane. He's got greats in the middle with Ndombele and Sissoko. So I feel Mourinho is walking into a place where he can actually be satisfied for the first time with the sort of players that he has at his disposal.
Well,
and I think that for Spurs, one thing is guaranteed with Mourinho in charge. No matter what happens,
there will be a trophy
at some point.
Again, but what, guys, when we say
that's such a refreshing thing to say about the manager.
What kind of trophy.
No, but I'm saying
as
that
Spurs
it doesn't matter.
You see,
Spurs
because
for now,
at this
listen,
point, any
guys,
trophy
listen,
goes.
listen,
Spurs could use Conco right now.
I ask because in Daniel Levy's statement when that was released to announce the departure of Mauricio Pochettino, I got the inclination that in his mind, Spurs had gotten to a point where now they need to start winning things.
Yeah, and I
But
agree.
what does Daniel Levy want to win?
Yeah.
Does he have the muscle to chase a Premier League title? I doubt. Does he have the muscle to chase a Champions League title? I doubt.
He's got a manager capable of doing that.
I think this squad, you see, he has a manager capable of doing so, agreed. But do the players have it in them mentally to give it one more? Maybe because of the new manager, they may give him one more go. What I'm driving at is that Spurs need to stagger their expectations. First, claim one trophy. And I think that they need to start looking at things. Of course, they are out of the League Cup. The FA Cup is always a good place to start.
Yeah.
When Mourinho came to England, what did he win first? He won the League Cup.
Yeah, he
first.
won the League Cup.
Then he won the FA Cup. Then he went after the league. Then he started to win a mix of all those things. So I think that Spurs need to ask themselves, what is it that they want? But in all of this, I think the biggest lesson, is for all parties involved. One, know when it is right to walk away.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Poch overstayed his welcome at Spurs.
Yeah, he did.
Poch should have left at the end of
When
that
they
Champions
started
League.
shortchanging him with regards
Yeah,
to
he
transfer.
should have left after that
and
final.
I think after he made a statement that should they win, even if
They had won
the
the
Champions League
League.
would have just
Yep.
after that
Yep.
final.
He should have moved out.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ole's contract, I'm hearing.
So
will
Jose
probably
walks
be
in.
given a 5-year extension.
Jose walks in.
It's not like classified or confirmed, but I'm hearing that United will extend Ole's contract.
please.
I'm proud. I'm happy for Ole. I hope that he gets the United job on a lifetime basis. I hope that United fans will stay with their Norwegian legend forever.
Oh, no. That
No,
will
no,
happen.
no,
That will
Sensei.
happen, I'm telling you.
No, but you don't want a lifetime contract for
Everybody
Ole.
gets it wrong. Solskjaer will get it wrong one day. He'll get fired.
Wait, he's not getting it wrong already?
He is getting it wrong. But I'm saying,
What are you waiting for?
I'm saying that the people who are
I've
giving
told
him,
you what we are waiting for.
What are you waiting
He
for?
has a signing to do. After that signing, he will be sacked.
Which signing is this? please?
Haaland.
No more.
Erling
Have
Haaland.
small boy striker.
Haaland's father.
Erling
Forget,
Haaland.
No more. He came to
You-
carrot.
Coach, hold on. You want to believe that Erling Haaland wants to play for Man
He will
United?
come home. Agbe no more.
Erling Haaland too is coming home now.
Agbena. No more women cable. Look, take it from me. Haaland, that left-footed deadly striker in the modern game, the most prolific young striker in world football as we speak today.
He's coming to United.
He's coming
See,
home.
Man United.
I doubt. You see, no, let me tell you, the sort of money. Let me tell you, the sort of money that his team.
Man United.
What is the name of that team? Red Bull
Salzburg.
The money they are asking for, it is only United who will dish that money out.
They are not serious.
Who pay them on 85 million?
Man
Who are paying?
United are not serious. You want a striker. There are strikers all over them. Edin Dzeko.
Dzeko, no more.
Listen, let me
No
finish.
money, no more.
Edin Dzeko wants
You
out.
bought Berbatov. What are you
Listen,
talking about?
We
Guys,
You bought Ibrahimovic. What are you talking
No,
about?
Ibrahimovic came free of charge. Berbatov came at the age of 27.
Yeah!
Has come. Decay has come.
After collecting the free haircut.
Mr. Kwanzi, what are you doing here?
You see?
Is he?
Panorama de
But you know, Mr. Kwanzi said that. I want to ask you something.
From Abokobi to this place?
Charlie.
Not be
Panorama
easy.
baby, he can't sit at home.
I took the chopper.
You took a chopper.
Mr. Kwanzi, I saw your tweet. Right?
I was lying in bed.
Now you believe, don't you?
He's sitting on my lap.
I was lying in bed.
Now you believe, right?
Then I heard the intro. Then I told myself that today, if I don't come on Panorama, call me Baobab or Hinibwedu.
Wait, what? Call you what?
Baobab or Hinibwedu.
No, but I just want to. But
AKA Nana.
Nana Apia. Nana Bones.
Mr. K,
Nana Champo.
Mr. K, I saw you were tweeting about the rap. You loved it, right?
See,
you
I
believe
believe.
now, yeah.
I believe. Look, I believe.
You bow. We apologize.
Charlie, but the
Yeah,
Bible.
sorry.
But you heard the chorus, eh?
Oh, I heard a chorus.
Oh, Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
Me feng me.
Damn.
Oh, Charlie. No.
Relax. We should call you what again?
Baobab.
Or Hinibiodu.
Or Hinibwedu.
Baobab. You know Baobab tree?
Yeah.
Baobab Or Hinibuedu.
AKA Nana Mponsa.
AKA
Nana Bunsu.
AKA
Nana Tampo.
AKA
Daniel, can you explain?
wait, AKA Nana Grada.
I wish he could explain to listeners where the Nana train of names are coming from. But you see, at the right time, that's one thing about fun. At the right time, we will give you that background information. Yeah, coach.
Are we moving on to?
Yes, we are.
Next.
Man City, Chelsea.
Do you have that voice? The minimum voice. That minimum voice. No more. Can we party any type of voice?
You go and I'll look for it for you.
Look. Play him Bobo.
Don't play
Bobo.
Nimli. Don't.
Charlie. Charlie.
Tomorrow. Look,
coach, I like that Salah move.
Oh, no.
That looks like Journey to the West. No, how do you call it? Salah.
It's called a
You see, when Chelsea was playing Liverpool, you see the first goal Trent Alexander-Arnold scored. Yeah. When the free kick was there, Salah pretended as he was going to just roll the ball back. Look, we are here again. You see, we are here again, and I've asked Fentu, I've been telling him to get me that record. Whenever Pep Guardiola's team loses a match, since his days at Barcelona, through to Bayern Munich, through to Man City, what happens to the next opponent? The minimum the next opponent gets from a Pep Guardiola's team is Ayele,
which is 3.
Which is 3-0. The minimum is when he was at Barcelona, the moment Barcelona lose a game, the next opponent minimum 3, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6. Then he went to Bayern Munich. Anytime they lost a game, the next opponent minimum 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ayele, Ayoko, Akwele, Akwete, Ajete. Look, today I've been telling my Chelsea brothers, Lampard will come good, but tomorrow he will finally be baptized into the coaching arena. This Chelsea team is a very, very good team, but I think they've gone to, or they will play Man City at the wrong time. At the wrong time. Pep Guardiola's team is where? 4th on the log. 4th. 9 points off Liverpool. And then Chelsea is where? 2nd. As we speak.
Yep.
Look, the minimum.
Chelsea are 3rd.
They are 3rd.
Minimum.
The minimum tomorrow. I know they don't want to hear this. But at times it is good to be truthful, to be honest, to be sincere, and to be very clear on matters of great interest. I think tomorrow, Zuma, Tomori, and then Numo Aspliqueta.
Aspliqueta is an old Duade now.
Oh, Numo Malije Moye. He's got mileage in his legs. You see, he's played lots of games. So when Bernardo Silva, David Silva, Kun Aguero,
and Raheem
Sterling. Look, no more. What can belly fire at the Etihad? Labacho. There will be fire. Look, and the incessant, the manner in which they will be bombarded. As for Kepa, 1 shot, 1 goal.
Kamala Kalaza. Kepa Kamala
Kalaza. No, 1 shot, 1 goal. Last is when he went there. There were 6 shots on target. Emi 6 Kulem. Glock 6.
Wait. Apuzo has a word for you. Wait.
Kotwa pa de wason lele ese muja no kwan na keeper be na mo ko fa na yi mo ko fa no he ane boarding din keeper bi na odam po de baba ho no yeah where de kabla kalaza fine keeper sabaka kablaza keeper sabaka kabaka sabalaga abuzo se dai keeper kablaza ni dino no wo Spain na wo he international no keeper kablaza.
Hey, Charlie, his friend is a really bad friend.
I'm happy Igolo Kante is fit.
Yeah.
Because they will need him.
Charlie, these days they say Jorginho is the maestro.
Oh, tomorrow we'll see.
They say Jorginho.
We'll see
maestro Jorginho.
Ball
distributing Jorginho.
The ball distributing. The passer of the ball.
Yeah. Ball distributing Jorginho.
Tomorrow, whether Chelsea likes it or yes, they will get beat. But to be honest with you, I don't want anything closer to what we had last season. Because you remember last season, at some point here in the studio, I was pleading. I had to send Pep Guardiola some text messages. No moment, please don't go beyond Ajete. Please don't go beyond Ajete.
But you said there was a new level we were going to get to. Which one is that?
Nina.
Oboshi.
Wait, what?
Oboshi.
Oboshi is what?
Oboshi is 12, but the most likeliest one is Lamley.
Which is what?
9.
I want to close the show.
So I am predicting that.
Wait.
After the 6, there will be 2 red cards, like we saw against Ajax.
Yeah.
And then that will quickly accelerate to the Lamley.
So the,
and if they prove stubborn,
so the 2 red cards are the catalyst.
Yes, are the catalyst for us to get to Lamley.
Serious stuff you are saying. You are predicting that Chelsea will be red carded twice.
That's what I'm saying. That once we get to Lamley,
namely the blasphemy has to stop. Please.
Listen, let me tell you.
The reason Chelsea will win that game tomorrow at the Etihad Stadium is because of Jorginho. The player you have
distributing
the
Jorginho.
player you have slammed over the years since he came to the Premier League. The player you so much detest in Jorginho. He's the one putting you to shame this season. So far, you haven't seen that in your entire life, Christopher Nimley. I don't think that we have ever had the privilege of witnessing a midfielder as dominant.
It's okay. We are not
going to talk. No, we are.
2 more seconds.
Wait.
No,
I am talking about the game.
2 more seconds. Hurry up.
I'm saying that. Wait. So that would be all. No, come on.
It's 3 minutes.
You can't have Nimley do that. And
Daniel took a chopper to get here.
Yes. See, and I'm telling you that.
Team that is playing
yes, Jorginho is the guy that will ensure that Man City lose tomorrow. And I'm telling you this.
At it again.
No, I'm not. Hold on. No. See, Jorginho is the best modern day midfielder we have seen in the Premier League in the last 20 years. And I'm telling you this because yes, Jorginho's style of play. In fact, Jorginho is not your typical deep line playmaker. He is not McLeary who only wings the ball. He is a different breed, and that's why from now on, I am going to name that position he plays the Jorginho role. It's different, and it's true. How many? Hold on.
Plane don't land. Jorginho what?
And numbers don't lie. How is it possible that Jorginho, who is supposed to be a deep line playmaker, has made more tackles than any player?
We have arrived.
Than any player, more tackles. Somehow, Jorginho has made more passes into the opposition final third. He's played more through balls than any player at Manchester City with 11. The same Jorginho has intercepted more balls than any other player at Man City or anywhere else.
The ever dominant Jorginho.
See, I have never met a midfielder who is so impervious to opposition attacks and yet so cataclysmic with his
Nana!
I'm telling you, this is
Kata what?
Cataclysmic when he goes forward. I'm saying this is not and this is not a fanatical view. Numbers don't lie.
Isn't?
It isn't. Because it's true. Okay. How is it that... No, hold on. Have you seen a midfielder that has played the most through balls in the entire league and yet has the most tackles in the league? Have you found one before? That's only Jorginho.
He has most tackles than even Ndidi.
I am telling you. See, he has the third most interceptions in the entire league. See,
tackles and...
Yes! This is Jorginho. It's not fanatical. Okay. Numbers don't lie. You were tagged under those numbers yesterday. You refused to read. You refused to read because of mischief. But I'm saying that Jorginho is doing
this. Look, tomorrow I'm begging you.
Don't beg me.
I'm coming.
Don't beg me.
Look, tomorrow is an off day. I'm begging.
Don't beg me.
Come and let's do this game tomorrow. I will pay your transportation. Yeah, I will feed you. I will do everything for you. Come and let's do this game tomorrow. I know myself here. We'll see who done Boboli Bobo.
Will you bring Lille along?
Daniel will get the last word on the show today.
Tomorrow.
I will give him all
at the Etihad Stadium.
Yeah?
At the Etihad Stadium.
Give us a scoreline.
Chelsea are not losing that match.
No more against scoreline.
We're not losing that game. And this is not fanatical.
Scoreline.
You know that Chelsea has averaged 5 goals.
Wait. You see, you always fail your exams. How did you pass your exams?
Did you know?
Give us
I got an A in English. Did you know that Chelsea has averaged 5 goals away from home this season?
Great.
So
give us a scoreline.
In every match.
You give me a scoreline.
Chelsea to win an over 3.5.
I have said only if this was television, viewers will be looking at your face when you just said what did you say.
Who is going to defend against Tammy Abraham, the league's top scorer? Who? Fernandinho. Jesus Christ.
Daniel, the final word belongs to you. Mourinho, your beloved Man City, whatever, do what you want.
The first one, I was watching the penalty shootout today, and my earpiece was in my ear, and I was listening to A Man for Girls. Then I turned to my left. Then I looked at the TV again. I said, Kwame na MP. What is Kwame na MP doing taking a penalty for Ghana? Kwame na MP.
But he looks more like Kofi Mole.
Charlie, did you see the swag that the guy used to take the ball and put the ball on the spot? Hey!
A Man for Girls.
We should stop these things. We should stop. Now, second of all, Charlie, I'm a half Manchester City fan and a half Tottenham Hotspur fan.
Charlie, you are really an Ashawo supporter.
Is back.
Oh, no more. You see, you did not give me chance to talk on Mourinho. Sure.
Daddy is back.
You get 30 seconds, relax.
Daddy is back. And I saw a video of Daddy hugging Sonny. So today I was not on the Premier League show, but the spirit has entered me. If you know what is good for you, tomorrow, go and buy Son. Captain Son. Because tomorrow, goals will rain at the London Stadium.
Hey.
I'm telling you, Daddy is back.
The rainmaker is in.
See, the new manager bounce is bouncing on Daddy.
Hey.
Already Daddy is a superstar. Then the new manager bounce is also raining on Daddy. See, 3 weeks from now, Manchester United, Mourinho will make sure that they will sack Ole. Me, I'm telling you. Jose Mourinho will sack Ole at Old Trafford 3 weeks from now. Me, I make a trail. But Kwame MP.
Daniel Cranton,
won't you tell Nimili that Bernardo Silva is not playing?
It's okay. Your mics are off. Yes, Nathan, what's going on as far as DSTV and our experience this weekend is concerned?
This weekend is good. The Beach Soccer World Cup has started, so if you love beach soccer, catch that on DSTV. Time difference is a little odd because it's happening in Paraguay, so you need to wake up at night to catch that. There's Torino versus Inter in the Italian Serie A.
Juicy.
AC Milan and Napoli is also happening. There's Atalanta and Juventus. Barcelona go to Leganés. So the Italian Serie A games, catch them on SuperSport 9. La Liga games on SuperSport 7. All of that happening on Saturday. If you love South African football, you can be watching the Diski Challenge. And then there's West Ham and Tottenham Hotspur happening tomorrow.
At what time? 12. That's our first
game, early kickoff. Charlie, somebody has added a new one to the goal name. So it says there's Chocho.
Oh, that's Chocho.
I just died. What's the meaning of this? That one is happening. Charlie, I don't even know. He says coach should stop all these jargons. Ayele, Ayoko, Ayekai, Chocho, and Obosi and things. Charlie, I'm closing them, so it's okay.
And then there's some La Liga action there. Mm-hmm. And if you love your boxing, Sunday morning, is Ortiz and Wilder 2.
lit. That's a big bar.
Ortiz and Wilder too.
Lit.
So that's happening as well. So
And DSTV have you covered
all
for
of
all
that,
those
all of
games.
that, all of that.
Betway, of course, proud sponsors of Sports Panorama as
One
well.
more bar. One more bar.
Relax,
One more
relax.
bar.
We'll have to go with the who's the man, but relax for a second.
Yeah,
let, me,
we'll just enjoy it.
let me go through my Premier League fixture list, and then we'll get some who the man, and then we'll sign out of here. Okay, so match week 13 has us starting at the West Ham Stadium. There's West Ham versus Tottenham, and then there's Arsenal versus Southampton, and then when we get to the other games, there's Bournemouth versus Wolves, Brighton versus Leicester, Palace versus Liverpool, Everton versus Norwich, Watford versus Burnley, and then Manchester City versus Chelsea. On Sunday, there's just one game. I'm predicting a shock for Yanum. Yeah, Sheffield United to beat Manchester United. Me, I'm saying it here.
How would you describe that as a shock?
It's not a shock. Is that how low United have sunk?
It's not how low United have sunk. It's how good Sheffield are.
Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies.
Much better than
Apologies for dusting Sheffield United.
Chelsea couldn't beat them at the bridge.
Yeah, that's why you can't even get the goal.
We will teach you how to beat them.
If I leave you, you
teach
go at
you.
it all day. Your microphone is off. It's been lovely coming your way with Sports Panorama. The guys helped me to do this. Coach namely Fentio Tahiru, Nathan Kwao. Daniel Cranting arrived in his chopper. That's waiting for him outside to fly him out. The Premier League preview show, of course, is up next right when we leave. My name is Benjamin Nketia, but we leave you with the birthday boys. Who's the man? Take it away.
yeah. Somebody go.